Welcome back, my dear students of class 6th. How are you? Hope all are doing well. Once again, myself Vinita is here with you to teach you mathematics class 6th. And as you all know that we have shared the 6 videos of chapter number 2 whole numbers with you, and this is the part 7th video. So dear students, I would like to tell you that we have done the most important concepts in the 6 videos we have shared with you, and these concepts were the concept of the natural number, whole number, predecessor, successor, number line, how to do addition, subtraction, multiplication on number line. Then we learned the properties of whole number, which was very new topic and very difficult topic for you, in which we learned closure property for the operations addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the same commutative property for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Then associative property of addition, multiplication, subtraction, division, and then we learned distributive property of multiplication over addition, identity for addition, identity for multiplication. These important concepts we have done in the 6 videos, and now I'm going to recall these concepts with the help of some questions that I'll solve here for you. And also one important thing I want to tell to the all students of class 6th, that you don't have to do each and every question of exercise in your mathematics notebook. Only the important questions we will share with you, those questions you have to do in the notebook. So the notebook work is only to draw the mind map in the beginning of the chapter, and then to do the important questions that we will share with you very soon. Only these two things you have to do in the notebooks. Exercise each and every question you don't have to do in your notebook. So you don't have to worry about the notebook work, because the notebook work has been made quite less for you now. The burden is quite less for you, but the important thing is that you have to concentrate more and more and more on the concepts, and these concepts should be clear to you very well, so that you can solve any kind of question based on these concepts, whether it is an exercise question, whether it is a question from book or from the outside of book, anywhere. But the important thing that the question is based on the concepts that we have learned. So let's start now. I'm going to solve some question based on the concepts, and you should also try yourself to solve the questions which question I'm going to solve here. So giving a pause to the video, you could try yourself the question, and after that again play the video and see the solution. You can also do this way. So let's see, I am here at exercise 2.2, and let's see the first question. Find the sum by suitable rearrangement. Now rearrangement can be of many types. Like you see that in commutative property, what we used to say? We used to say that if we are adding A to B or we are adding B to A, it means the same. This is also a rearrangement. Or by a suitable rearrangement means we have to arrange these numbers in such a way that the addition becomes easier for us. And always remember one thing: whenever you are doing addition, whenever you are doing multiplication, so addition multiplication becomes easier in a condition when you are having a number in which there is more and more number of zeros. Like if you have to multiply a number with 10, any number with 10, then it is easy for you, because what you have to do, you have to just write the number of zeros that this number is having with the other number. That is, 10 will be written with 190. If you have to multiply 100 with 19, then you will write 2 zeros with 19. So what I am trying to convey is that the addition and the multiplication process becomes easier when you are adding a number, or when you are multiplying a number with such a number in which there is more and more number of zeros. So in question first also, we will try to make a arrangement so that we get more and more number of zeros in the arrangement. So let's see, we are having a number 837, and we are having a number 208, and we are having a number 363. Now we will try to see that that how do we add these numbers so that we get a number in which we get some number of zeros. Now if you see that when you will add 837 and 208, when you will add them then you will add them this way: 837 and 208, then you are adding, then you are getting 8 plus 7, that is 15. So here we are getting 5, means there will not be a number in which we are having zeros in the units place or in the tens. So let's see, when we are adding 837 and 363. Now see, when you will observe the units place, then you will see that 7 plus 3 is 10. Means we are getting a 0 in the units place. After that, when we are adding 6 plus 3, that is 9, and 1 is carried from here, then 9 plus 1 is also 10, and 1 will be carried out, and then 8 plus 3 is 11, and when we carry 1 and 11, then it becomes 12. So we get 1200. So we are getting a number in which we are having two zeros. So always making a suitable rearrangement of the number, we will keep in mind that we will do the addition in such a way that we get a number after addition in which we are having at least 10, 20, 30 in this way. So now we have come to know that in this question, if we add 837 and 363 plus, first we will add them, and then whatever we get, we can add that to the third number, then the addition becomes easier for us. And we also know that there is a property in which we do the association of the number, and that property is known as the associative property, right? So we will use associative property here to do the addition in an easier way. In the beginning it will be quite difficult for you to find out that which property we have to use, but as you will keep practicing, it will become quite easier for you. So first we will do this question in this way, that 837 and 363 will be associated, and the association of these numbers will be added to 208. So 837 and 363 has become 1200 as we checked it, and then we have to add 1200 and 208. So what we get? We get 8, 0, 4 and 1. 1408. So this is the suitable rearrangement of these numbers. So in the case of suitable rearrangement, which property we are using? We are using associative property. So always keep in mind, and whenever in a question they are asking us to add or multiply the numbers with a suitable rearrangement, then we have to use associative property, because it is associative property in which we do the arrangement of the number, in which we do the association of a number. In the same way you have to solve other question. You should try this yourself, that how to add these numbers so that the addition becomes easier for us. So give a try to this number. Now let's see the second question. In second question, they are giving us the find the product by suitable rearrangement. So we have to do the same thing, but now we don't have to do addition, we have to do multiplication. And please remember the concept that I have told you, that any multiplication or any addition is always easier when we are having a number in which we are having maximum number of zero, like we are having 10, we are having 100, we are having 1000. Whenever we are having an addition and multiplication in which these kind of numbers are present, then always to do addition multiplication is easier for us. So we will try to do the same thing. We will try to associate the numbers in such a way that we get this kind of number in the product. Suppose we have a question like first part of second question, 2 multiplied with 1768 multiplied with 50. Now in this question it's very easy for us, because we have to do the multiplication and we have to do a suitable rearrangement. And I have told you that whenever there is a question of suitable rearrangement, then there is only one property that we can use, because we are arranging the numbers in associative property. So how we will arrange them? First we will make the arrangement of 2 and 50. We will associate 2 and 50 by a bracket, and the other number, that is 1768 will be written outside the bracket. And after this, now we know that 50 multiplied by 2 is equals to 100, and 100 multiplied with 1768 is very easy to multiply. As many numbers of zeros are there in 100, as many zeros we will write with 1768 to get the answer. So 2 zeros are there, so answer will be 176800. Hope you have got this. Similarly, you can see many other questions in which this kind of thing will help you. Like in the part 2, you can see 4 multiply 166 multiply 25. So if you have read the table of 25, then you must have known that 25 fours are 100. So it means first we will associate 25 with 4, and we will multiply this association with 166, which is given in the question number second part B. So this way we will do. It will become 100, and 100 multiplied with 166 become 16600. So this is the way you have to do the questions of suitable rearrangement, whether its arrangement is for addition or for multiplication. So this is the way to solve these kind of questions. And if you don't find it easy to get that which number is giving us the maximum number of zeros by multiplying, then you can just multiply the numbers which are in their units places. Like for example, we have a question second part E. Let's see, question second part E. Now in this you see that if you are multiplying, you are having 285, you are having 5, and you are having 60. So you have to see that which numbers multiplication, which of the two numbers multiplication will give us the maximum number of zeros. So you can multiply their units places. When you will multiply 285 with 5, then you will multiply the units place 5, and 5 will give 25, means at the units place there will be 5, means we are not getting 0. And when we will multiply 5 with 60, we will get 0. And a 5 and 0 multiplied will give you 0, and 6 and 5 multiplied with 30, that is also giving you 1 0. So it means first we will associate these two numbers, and then the association of these numbers can be multiplied to the third number. So this is the way that you have to judge. You don't have to do the complete multiplication. You can just multiply the units places of the numbers to check that which number will give you maximum number of zeros. So now let's see question number third. Find the value of the following. So we have this question. Find the value of the following. 297 into 17 plus 297 into 3. Now this is the question with us. So first you will see the question, observe the question, because they are asking us to find the value. We can easily find the value. We can multiply 297 with 17, then we can multiply 297 with 3, and then we can add them. This is the way to multiplication. But we have learned the properties of whole numbers, so definitely we will try to apply these properties, because I have told you that these properties will help us to solve the questions in an easier way. So if you remember, so first thing, that properties should be done in a very well way. Properties should be kept remember by you, then you can solve the question. So first thing, concentrate on the videos in which we have discussed the properties. Write those properties, practice with those properties, and then solve the questions. It's your job now. So now what we will do, we can see that there is 297 in the first term, and there is 297 in the second term. And such kind of property we have done, and the property was like A multiplied with B plus C is A multiplied with B plus A multiplied with C. This kind of property we have done. Now it's a question for you to guess that which property was this. If you have guessed, then it means you have learned very well and you have watched the videos in a very good way. And if you have not been, then you have to go back and you have to watch the videos again. So I will tell you that A multiplied with B plus C was distributive property of multiplication over addition. I have told you distributive property of multiplication over addition says that we will distribute this multiplication with addition sign on both the numbers which are under the bracket. Here a is multiplied with this complete bracket, but when we will open the bracket, then a will be multiplied with b and a will be multiplied with c, and with the sign of addition between the both terms. So let's see how we will apply distributive property over this. We can compare 297 with a. The number which is present in both the term is known as a. This is a into b and this is a into c. And we have seen the property that a into b plus c is equals to a into b plus a into c. So now we are having the value which is in the right hand side, and we will convert it to the left hand side so that it can become easier for us. Now you have to take common. How to take common? Which number is present in both the terms? First term is 297 into 17. Second term is 297 into 3. 297 is present in the first term, 297 is present in the second term. So we can take 297 common out of the bracket at the place of a. Then there will be a sign of multiplication. Then there will be a bracket, and on the place of b we can write 17. On the place of c we can write 3. 297 into 17 plus 3. Now 17 plus 3 is 20. 297 into 20. Now we can multiply them. We just have to multiply 297 with 2, and whatever is the answer we will write 10 with that. And when we will multiply 297 with 2, we will get 594, and 10 which is in 20 will be written with 594. It becomes 5940, and this will be the answer. So you can see that we have multiplied the number, but in an easier way. We don't have to do two multiplications. With the help of this property, which is the distributive property of multiplication over addition, we have solved this question in an easier way. So this is the way we will solve the questions. So I'll advise all of you that please watch the videos, learn the properties, clear the confusions with me in the doubt session, and solve the questions yourself. As much questions you will solve yourself, as much trained you will be, as much your knowledge will be good in these chapter 2 whole numbers. So there is a question number 7 which I would like to explain to you, because in this it will be very easy for us to see that which property is being used, because we have to match the following. Everything is written here and we just have to judge our knowledge by looking at the part. Like we are having 425 multiplied with 136. Now 425 multiplied with 136. Now they have divided 136 in 6, 30 and 100. 136 is divided into 3 parts: 100, 30 and 6. So what we have done, we have distributed 136 in the help of addition. And what we will do now, we will use the distributive property of multiplication over addition. As you can see here, distributivity of multiplication over addition. We have to multiply the two numbers, but what we did, we distributed the multiplication over addition. The second number we distributed it in the form of addition, and we use the property of distributivity of multiplication over addition. As in the part 2, 2 multiplied with 49 with 50 is equals to 2 multiplied with 50 with 49, right? Means they are changing the order of the multiplication. I have told you very well that in which property we change the order, and by changing the order the multiplication and the addition is not affected, and that property is commutative property. And because here we are doing multiplication, so this is the commutativity under multiplication. And in the third part we are adding 80 plus 2005 plus 50 and 80 plus 20 plus 2005, means we are changing the order of addition, means we are using the commutative property, but commutative property is being used under addition. So I hope you have understood them, so we can match them very easily. First will be matched with C, second will be matched with A, and third will be matched with B. Okay, so this is the way we have to do. So the important thing is again and again the concept, the properties. So please concentrate on the properties, do practice and get perfect in these concepts. So I'm going to end the video here. So till then, keep practicing, keep revising. Have a good day.